about the Jets training camp that we have, underway. Veterans have reported today. Practice is starting tomorrow. Lots of things to talk about. Guys have gotten activated off the PUP. I am hyped up. Listen, 515-602-9639. That is the number. Call in. We are taking callers. Give me 1 second, folks. We're going to connect the audio, and we're going to get into this because we got a lot to talk about. Salutes to the Savages. Give me 1 second, folks. I'll be right back. Hold on.
Blog Radio.
What's going on, folks? It's your boy Long Beach Joe, and I am back at it again. I'm back at it again, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm back at it. And let me tell you something else. The New York Jets are back at it, okay? We back at it again. Guys are on the field, okay? They're about to be on the field, tomorrow, but training camp is underway. Things is moving and shaking. We know the rookies have reported as well, but guess what? Veterans report today. Guys have shown up. Becton, all these guys, right? We also got guys coming off the PUP. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be discussing that too. Guys are going to be practicing in full tomorrow. I'm hyped up. I am fired up. I don't know if everybody else is fired up, but camp is here, and I'm hyped, man. Come on. I'm fired up. Damn. I'm ready to go. So with that said, let's get into the show. Listen, I am the man of the people. I am here for the people. Let me shamelessly promote my Facebook page. Everyone go on Facebook, search The Long Beach Joe Show. Like that page. My content's up there. Go ahead and give it a listen. Message me. I'll message you right back. I love going back and forth with folks about this football team. Also, leave me some feedback. I love hearing about what you folks think I do here on The Long Beach Joe Show. I'm also on Twitter as well, okay? The show's page is at The Long Beach Joe. Go ahead and follow that page. Follow you right back, and we can go back and forth, talk about football, all that stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what I'm doing here on the show as well. My personal page is YoungJ000. Again, YoungJ000. It's my personal Twitter page. Go ahead and follow me. Again, I'll follow you right back, and let's go back and forth. Your boy's also on iTunes as well, okay? I'm on iTunes, all right? Go on over to iTunes, okay? Go on over to iTunes, search The Long Beach Joe Show, okay? Subscribe to that, and also, give your boy some feedback as well. Give me some feedback. Let me know what you folks think about what I'm doing here on the show. Give me a 5-star rating, please. You know what I'm saying? That's always greatly appreciated as well. And let me know how you folks think I'm doing here. I really enjoy touching, reaching out and touching people and, talking about this football team with everybody. And again, I want to thank everybody that does do that too, because it's greatly appreciated, just getting that feedback. So, and also, all right, if you want to watch the show live, okay, if you want to check out other content, guess what? Your boy does the live show on YouTube, okay? I've been told before. Last week, I had a guest that told me as well that I'm handsome, okay? Look, I'm not a big-headed guy or nothing like that. I just have people come up to me, they say, Joe, we knew you was doing your radio show. That's great, but man, you're looking good. I said, hey, thanks. You know what I'm saying? Thanks. Everybody, women come up to me, Joe, you're handsome. You're looking real nice there. I said, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a big-headed guy. I appreciate the compliments. I do. And I give them right back. You look good as well, But if you want to see your boy live, okay, if you want to see me live, do the show live, talk about this Jets live, then go to YouTube, put in Long Beach Joe Jets on YouTube, okay? That will bring up the YouTube page. Go ahead and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so when I post content, you folks will be in the know. All right, when the show goes live, you'll be able to come over and see it. I put up other content on there as well about the team too. You guys can check that out as well. I'm always fired up. So salutes to everybody that does that. Now, it's time to get into this team, all right? And boy, oh boy, do we have a lot to discuss. Salutes to all the savages in the chat, man. You want to know why I call my chat the Savages? Because they're savage. I'm talking savage. They are savage, man, and they get after everybody. Everybody gets it. It doesn't matter who you are. When the time comes, it's your time. Savage! It's your time when the time comes. Okay? Nobody's safe, not even me. You give a take they don't like, guess what? They get right after you. No problems. So that's why we call them the Savages. Salute to all the Savages in the chat. We'll come to you in a second. We got people asking questions. Today, the veterans have reported to training camp. And boy, oh boy, do we have a lot to talk about. We got guys coming off the PUP as well. Carl Lawson, Mekhi Becton, CJ Uzama. We're going to be discussing that too. We've also signed some guys and brought some guys in and made some cuts too. But before we get to that, one of the big reasons why I do this radio show is to reach out and touch fans. You know, everyone knows that I'm a Jet fan in California. There's not a lot of Jet fans out here, you know, not much at all, right? So I wear my green proudly. And when I'm walking around and I spot another Jets fan, they spot me, we instantly have that connection. Where there's other people all over the place finding a way to bring Jets fans together. They have fan clubs. They sit down. They watch games together. They become a part of the community. They build communities of Jets fans. And it's all about coming together, bleeding green together, watching this team together, sticking together through thick and through thin. The wins, the losses, the happiness, the misery, all of it. They are there together supporting each other. So with that said, I'm going to bring on Quincy Williams from the Virginia 757 Jets fan club. And he's going to talk to us today about what they're doing in Virginia, how much fun they're having. And he's going to talk to us about bleeding green. Salutes to you, Willie. I want to thank you for coming on the Long Beach Joe show today. How are you feeling, my friend?
All right. What's going on, Joe? Thanks for having me.
Hey, man, it's thank you for coming on. It's always good to speak with you. Listen, Willie, I want you to share with my audience what made you become a New York Jets fan.
Yeah, that's funny. All right. So basically, I'm originally from Long Island, New York, and we moved to Virginia. And so my dad was always a diehard Cowboys fan. We always, so I grew up, being a Cowboys fan.
Mm-hmm.
But then right towards the end of the dynasty, I needed something new because they just kept winning. It was getting annoying. So then Keyshawn Johnson was my favorite player in college at the time. So he just happened to come to the Jets. So I started doing the research on the Jets. I was like, wow, okay, they're the underdogs. And I've been riding ever since. That was 1995, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
1995.
Willie,
so we've been, been through all the ups and downs and all that. Yep.
Yeah, Willie, it is always interesting to hear how people become Jets fans. I hear from different stuff. Again, I became a Jets fan from watching the Monday Night Miracle. That was the first Jets game I watched. I was really young, and I just said, man, I got to follow this team. I got to figure out what makes this team tick. Why, how do they just continue to battle and fight? There's other people, that talk about, hey, my family, they were all Jets fans, and I was growing up, and, we watched football together, and I was thinking, what team do I want to root for? And they said, hey, you don't have to worry about that because you're going to be wearing a green jersey whether you like it or not. You know what I'm saying? So some people became Jets fans that way. Yeah, it is just great to hear your path to becoming a fan. Now, we talk about you being a Jets fan, but can you talk to us about how did your fan club come about, man?
Okay, so there was already a fan club in the Virginia Beach area. Shout out to the Virginia Jet fans.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still a member of them as well. But I'm I'm more on the peninsula side, so there's really nothing going on that side.
Mm-hmm.
So with all of my charismatic creativity, I took it over to that side. So we a couple places we watch it over there. So.
Yeah,
that's how that came to be.
Yeah. That's usually how it works. Now, can you tell us where exactly you folks hang out and meet up and watch these games together? Can you let my audience know that? And what kind of activities are you folks involved in? You guys do anything like raffles or anything like that within your clubs?
Oh, absolutely. Okay, so 2 places we actually watch it. We actually watch it at Hooters, 1801 West Mercury Boulevard in Hampton. And then also we watch it at the Green Turtle, 3610 Von Schilling Drive in Hampton as well. So like, we'll alternate back and forth. So what we'll do is, it's game day. I have like I said, I'm really creative. So I have a backdrop I had made, with our logo and stuff on it. So we'll put that up. We do, I raffle off jerseys. I raffle off, different trinkets. I'll buy beer and wings for the guys, when they show up. So, we have a lot of fun. Oh, and then on top of that, I have a flight suit. I have a flight suit and a fighter pilot helmet. So whenever we ever score a touchdown, this thing called a flyby. So me and somebody else will go back to back. We'll fly around the bar. We'll do the little air bump, and then we'll do the chant after a touchdown.
Okay. That's what I'm talking about right there. That's what I'm talking about right there. You really bringing it to the table there, Willie. I like that. Now, when we're talking about, all the things that you do around there, you're on the peninsula side there. I've been in VA before. Can you explain to people what it's like being a Jets fan in Virginia? What is it like being a Jet fan in your local area? Do you get hassled by Cowboys fans? Do you get hassled because there's some Redskins fans there or now it's the Commanders fans there as well. Tell us what it's like, what your experience has been like being a Jets fan in your area.
Okay, so here's the crazy part, Joe. All right, so like I said, DC, DMV area, it's all Redskins, mostly Redskins, but then there's Cowboy fans that hate the Redskins fans that,
Yep.
So, so when you see us, we instantly get attacked. Oh my God, why are you a Jet fan? This, that, you must be from New York, and this, that, it's annoying. But see, I'm that Jet fan that we could be 16-0 or 0-16, you would never know the difference because that's how I thought, So it gets interesting.
Yeah, like you said as well. I've been there, and there are a ton of Commanders fans, and let me tell you something. They wear it loud and proud, and like you said, they do hate the Cowboys with every fiber of their being. You know what I'm saying? So it could get crazy out there, but I'm glad like you said, you're wearing your green and you're letting them know. Listen, I'm not for the nonsense. I love the Jets. It is what it is, and I'm going to speak my piece. I respect that, Willie. Now, when we're talking about this football team, right? Because we talked to you about your club and everything, all the great things you folks are doing. I want to talk to you a little bit about this football team. When you look at this team, man, and you look at the changes that have been made, what are your thoughts on Robert Sela and Joe Douglas, man? How do you feel about some of the things that they've been able to do here?
Okay, so I'll start with Joe. All right, so with Joe, he put together a masterpiece in Philly, and it won them a title. I have never been this excited about the Jets since probably when Mark Sanchez played, because they actually put together what we needed. He addresses what we need, and I love that.
Yeah.
So it's like when we had the draft, it was like, oh my God, like we have a shutdown corner again. We have, all pro running back. We've got an all everything receiver. It was just incredible. Like we were just going crazy at Hooters when they started, the first round draft. Mm-hmm. They'll keep up the good work. Mm-hmm. And then as far as Robert goes, it's like, second year, I think he just has to get his feet wet, and I think he's going to do great things too, because the team loves him. Even when in San Francisco, everybody loved him. They were sad to see him go. So I've never seen anyone get upset when somebody leaves. So I'm like, okay, so I feel like we got a good guy here. So I think by this year and next year, trying to figure it all out, I think we can do extraordinary things.
Yeah, and even talking about Robert Sela, some of the things that you talked about, Willie. It wasn't just, the players in San Francisco. We saw them, reach out, Richard Sherman, all those guys coming on and being, sad to see him go. But there was other players around the league saying, hey, the Jets got it right. The Jets finally got a guy that can really come in and change, the face from a coaching standpoint. He's a great leader. He's a great man. He's a great teacher. All these things were things that we heard. And not only did we hear those things, but we saw those things as well, because we saw the job that he did in San Francisco, not just, with guys like Bosa and Warner and those guys. No, there were times where he was without those guys due to massive injuries on their defense. The year that they spanked us and ran all over us, that was the same year where they had a lot of massive injuries defensively, and he was able to get the most out of a lot of the backup guys. They still had one of the better defenses in the league from him being able to piece that together. So I was excited about bringing him in, and he's looked solid. He's really done a solid job. And Joe Douglas, we all know this guy's just a spin master. He can do it all. We saw him, the capital he was able to get for Jamal Adams was phenomenal. Being able to trade Chris Herndon, get capital back. He traded Blake Cashman. Blake, I never play. I'm always hurt. Cashman, and got a pick back. So it's like it's completely crazy. You know what I'm saying, Willie? It's insane. It's insane. I'm just saying he's insane. Joe. I don't know what he's telling people. I don't know what what kind of bargaining chip he's got, or what kind of secrets he holds against certain people. But I tell you what, he's able to get the deals done and bring it in. Now, when we're talking about the wheeling and dealing that Joe Douglas has made, man, and moves that we've seen him make, what is your favorite free agent signing that you've seen so far from Joe Douglas this past offseason?
Just re-signing everybody. That was major. Like, my favorite re-sign was probably Barrios.
Okay.
Because I think that I think he's going to be the key, because I think I do, just for the simple fact that he can ignite our special teams too. That's the thing that we don't really have, but I feel like that's coming as well. So I mean, like, I love the fact he resigned everybody, and I think we'll be good.
Okay,
I think we'll be fine.
Yeah. So what do you, when you look at the draft, what do you think about the draft? Who is your favorite draft pick? A lot of people like Sauce, some people like Jermaine Johnson. What are your thoughts about our draft?
I think I think they said we had a A-, B+ or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it was an A+. Like, that we were in there screaming like, I can't believe these guys fell to us. You know what I mean? Like, I couldn't believe about Sauce and then Brees, and then just everybody we picked was what we need. You know what I mean? So, and I love the fact that we have depth at wide receiver now. That's where we always.
Yep.
Me personally, I feel like that's what we are. We can't get it right because we don't have enough depth. When last year when Elijah, we just, we went to the dumps when he, when we lost him, but now we get him back, and now everybody gets utilized. Hopefully our OC can get it right where he's using everybody. You know what I mean? So that way everybody gets time, but you're not overexerting everybody.
Yeah. No, yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you. And when you're talking about, our offense and needed to get to where we need to go, my final question before I let you go, Willie, is Zach Wilson. A lot of people talking about him. He's looked good so far. Came into OTAs. He's in great shape. Man, people are talking about his focus has changed. You watched him last year, and we saw the ups and downs. What are your expectations from him this upcoming season? I see him. For one, I like all of his OTA stuff, like going out of town with guys and flying guys in different places. I don't care about the other stuff to talk about. We ain't gonna go into that, but I like his work. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
But no. But like I said, like flying guys out and hanging out with the guys and showing real leadership and saying, hey, because he knows those guys, that's who we have to trust in order to get where he needs to be. So yeah, I think that what's going to happen is like he's going to grow. He's going to grow, and he's going to get better protection this year. Yeah. Because we definitely beat the lineup, so we'll be in good shape.
Yeah. Now listen, Willie, I'm telling you, I love what you folks do there in Virginia. I love what you're doing, bringing people together. And I just want to thank you for doing that. Before I let you go, can you please let my audience know again how they can get in contact with you folks, where they can go in Virginia to watch games with you, and just how they can just get in touch with everything that you're doing.
Right. Okay. All right. So I'm on Instagram. and it's actually spelled out 757 Jet Fans. We're on Facebook, 77 Jet Fans. You know the number, numeric numbers. Then we also have a website at 7jets.com. And then again, we watch the games at Hooters on Mercury Boulevard in Hampton and Green Turtle, Bond 3610 Bond Schilling Drive.
Yeah. Listen, Willie, it's been phenomenal speaking with you. You have yourself a good night, my friend.
All right. You too. Thanks, Joe.
All right. You have a good one. Listen, Willie calling in, 757 Jets fan. Stand up, man. Stand up. Man, again, if you are in the Virginia area, please get in contact with the 757 Virginia Jets fan club. They do phenomenal things, as you just heard Willie come on and just give us the whole breakdown on how they're handling business out there. I really, really love what they're doing. And again, I want to salute to Willie and thank him for coming on and sharing his, the information about his club and everything he does. And he's a super knowledgeable Jets fan, knows the Jets back and forth. So now we're going to get into the show because we've got a lot to discuss. I'll get to the callers in just a second. Colin, Angelo, Chris, Jeremy, we'll get to you in a second. All the other callers as well. We'll get to you in just a second. But we got to talk about this, okay? Because it is training camp time, all right? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. It is time. Listen, folks. The veterans have reported. They reported today on the 26th, all right? We got a lot of guys that have come in the building. All our guys reported. Again, we had all of them. We saw Becton. He looks good. Carl Lawson, Zama, all those guys are in the building, right? So with all of those veterans reporting, right, because we don't have no issues, the New York Jets have now activated Mekhi Becton, Carl Lawson, CJ Uzomah off the PUP list, okay? So they're off the PUP list. They're ready to go. They're ready to go. This is what I talked about when everybody was saying, oh, my God, Becton starting on the PUP. Oh, my God, all these guys. Oh, man, the sky's falling. Everything's falling. And it's like, whoa. Wait a minute, guys. Wait a minute. They can get activated at any time. There's no issue. We also saw Robert Sela come out and say, hey, everything that we've worked with Mekhi and we're in constant contact with him and he's in the building facility moving around. Guess what? That knee's 100%. And he's looking good. And, oh, by the way, he's looking very good because that boy's looking slim. He don't look like he's 400 pounds. I'm just,
You're smoking crack. Stop.
He don't look like he's 400 pounds. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying nothing. I'm just saying that he don't look like he's 400 pounds,
Here we go.
Because I told people that he was going to be in shape. I told people that he was going to be motivated, just like when he was standing at that podium with the big bus shirt on, right? I told people that man was going to be serious, is serious, has always been serious about football, and he was going to bring it to people. So now that knee's 100%. He's looking trim and slim, all right, in great shape, and he's going to be out there. And I can't wait for Mekhi Becton to silence the critics and the haters. That's all I'm going to say about that. Salutes to Will Kohler. Savage in the chat says Becton looks like he's in great shape. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. We'll get to all the Savages in a second, but he looks like he's in phenomenal shape. So all of those guys have been activated off the PUP. Carl Lawson back on the field is going to be gigantic. That's one of the guys I'm the most excited about as well. Here's a guy that we were all clamoring for when the New York Jets signed him. Clamoring for this guy. Finally got a pass rusher. Haven't had one since John Abraham. This guy's back on the field now. Off the PUP. He's going to go do his thing. We'll see how they handle him at practice. But I'm telling you, if Carl Lawson is 100% ready to go, he's going to be a beast this year as well. He's an added piece that we've always needed. This defense is going to look tremendously different with him, Jermaine Johnson, and a pass rush. We finally have the pieces to effectively run Sela's scheme. Finally. The New York Jets have needed pass rush for years, and we finally got it. We're no longer horrific at that. You're not going to have 40 years to throw the football. We don't have to throw the kitchen sink at you every single time with a blitz to get to you now. We're going to have guys that can come off the edge. The Jets have also placed Tevin Coleman as well on the non-injury football list, the NFI. I believe Jeremy Rucker is still on that too. So we'll see how that, kind of pans out. I'm sure those guys will come out in a second. So we're figuring that stuff out. The signings as well for the New York Jets, they've made some moves. They've signed Chris Streveler, quarterback. They've also signed Ashton Davis, who has a history, Joe Douglas, a little time there with the Eagles, and Isaiah Williams as well to help with the offensive line. So we'll see how that shakes out there with those guys. Ashton Davis might be a guy that can challenge to possibly, that fifth wide receiver spot, maybe a little bit later, depending on how many wide receivers we keep. He might be a guy that can push to possibly make the roster, They also released DJ Montgomery and Craig James and also Drew Sama as well, offensive lineman. So those guys, we're moving on from them. We'll see how things shake out. But I am so fired up about the New York Jets, training camp, everything we got going. We've seen a lot of talk from Quentin Williams as well, talking about how he's excited for the season. He's in some of the best shape that he's ever been in. He's excited about this defense and where they can go. He thinks sky's the limit here. But he wants to make sure, everybody's in shape, everybody's ready to go, and everybody's focused on a weekly basis. So it was great to hear from him. We also heard a lot from Elijah Vera-Tucker, man. Let me tell you something. This kid, Elijah Vera-Tucker, is something special, okay? He's something super special because not only is he a phenomenal lineman, but he puts the work in to be a phenomenal lineman. We heard him talk about his work with Lakeland Tomlinson in the offseason, went up there and worked with him as well. You know what I'm saying? Went up there and put in some work, picked his brain about the position, what he needed to do, how he could get better. Him and Lakeland definitely fed off of each other, so that was phenomenal to hear. He also talked about Mekhi Becton as well, coming in looking phenomenal, looking like he's in great shape. He said with Becton on this line, I'm telling you, it's going to be something scary for week one. It's going to be something scary this year. You got Becton, you got Lakeland Tomlinson, you got Elijah Vera-Tucker, you got George Fant when things kind of pan out with him. I'm telling you, this is going to be a different year. And this is all about, again, continuing to build with Zach Wilson. He's going to be protected this year. Now he'll be able to have the time to dissect defenses and get the ball to where it needs to go, helping him to grow and ascend as a young quarterback within this league. Let me tell you something. I am fired up, guys. I am hyped because this team, and we've heard it from multiple players, there's so many players on this football team, veteran guys that have been in locker rooms, guys that have come from other places that were winners, and they're talking about the playoff expectation is here. We don't want to settle for less than that. Braxton Berrios came out and said, listen, it's playoffs, and if it's not, we're going to be disappointed. Mosley said some of the same things. Look, I'm looking at it. I'm saying, hey, we need to make the playoffs. It's time for us to make a push. This is a different time. This is a different Jets team. We're coming out, and we're not taking any mess, man. We're taking none of it. It's playoff time. It's playoff time. A lot of expectations, a lot of talent. It's time to go. So I'm going to get to the lines. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. I am taking all calls, and I'm fired up. I'm fired up. It is time. It is our time. So we'll get to these lines. First caller I'm going to go to is my guy, Angelo. Angelo, I'm coming directly to you. Chris, Colin, Jeremy, I'll come to you in a second. Angelo, salutes to you, my friend. I want to thank you for calling into the show. Listen, there's a lot of discussion, a lot of things going on. I'm going to get straight to it with you. You got Becton showing up. He's looking like he's in great shape, right? He's been activated off the PUP. What are your thoughts about him in this left tackle position? Do you think he takes it?
Yeah, looking really good, man. I saw the photo of him today, man. What a beast. Mm-hmm. I mean, 400 pounds. It's muscle. It ain't fat. It ain't fat. And you can tell he's been working out because you know what? I tore my Achilles a couple of years ago. I want to get back with Carl Lawson on that. But that was when I got in the best shape of my life because you are constantly rehabbing. Yep. So salutes to Carl Lawson and Mekhi Becton because you got nothing else to do but work out. Yep. And I'll tell you, man, it looked like he's been doing it. You know, everybody had skepticism and what he was doing in the off season. But, man, I'll tell you what, sometimes it's better to get away and do what you got to do, because you know what? If it's working, it's working. And I like what I see, and he's looking like he's going to get a payday. He's going to get paid.
Yep. Yeah, he does. I'm telling you, he looks phenomenal. He looks phenomenal. And I told people, I think he's going to silence so many people this upcoming, season. It's going to be completely ridiculous. But talking about silencing things, right? We're going into training camp. We got full practices coming. There's a lot of critics that have come out in the past talking about Zach Wilson too, talking about what he could bring to the table possibly, right? What he's going to be able to do. What are your expectations of Zach Wilson in training camp? Do you think that this is where he starts to set the table, to get into the season and really get things cooking?
I hope so. I feel like if there is one question mark with the team, it's probably him, because we really don't know what we're going to expect. You saw some immaturity in the off season, and but you also saw some discipline, because with the whole
with the off the field stuff
or whatever.
Okay. Can I say this though, Angelo?
It's just immaturity, but
Can I say this though?
Hey, I do the same thing, man. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Can I say this? that off the field stuff, and I don't want to get into it, because again, a lot of it is rumors, right? That off the field stuff is off the field stuff.
Yeah.
People talk about the immaturity with that situation. Again, that there's a lot of rumors, a lot of stuff we don't really know. I'm not even interested, because what we did see was the maturity of him coming in unbelievable shape. That guy is lifting for real, right? He came in, we're seeing, the coaches talking about how beefy he is, how great he looks. We're also hearing a lot about the ability to execute the play calls that are out there for him, right? We're constantly hearing those things. We heard Mike LaFleur come out and he talked about how the focus is different with Zach Wilson. It's a different focus. It's not the same as it was. He's understanding things faster. He's dissecting defenses. He's figuring things out. When I call plays in the huddle, right? He doesn't even really have to pay attention too much, because he already knows what I'm calling, where I'm going, what I'm doing, and he's able to come out and get the job done. We heard from Zach Wilson's own mouth, look, in the offseason, I'm preparing. I've prepared not just my body, I'm not just physically, but mentally as well. I'm watching tape to figure out, hey, this is what guys are doing against defenses that give us these certain type of looks in systems that are similar to us offensively. And I'm utilizing that, and then that helps me to destroy other football teams. To me, that is growth and maturity. To me, that is what we're looking for in our franchise quarterback that we think he is, right? That shows me that this guy's going to be able to bring to the table, because he's getting himself prepared fully. I mean, what else do you guys want from him?
What more do you want from me?
What more do you want from him, Angelo? What more?
No, you're right, Joe. And like I said, he's 22, 23 years old. He's a kid. So, again, you work hard, you play hard. What you can see from Zach Wilson is he's a go-getter. He's confident, good looking. He attacks the playbook. He attacks the film. He wants more. I think he's one of those kids that almost like ADD, where he's just constantly got to have to do something and constantly, stimulating his brain. So I agree with you 100%. You can see he put in the work, because, he wants to show a good face.
Yeah.
And, he's going to be the leader of this team, and you can tell he's working for it. Like I said, we were all young at one point. We all did things, and you're right. That's off the field stuff. We don't have to worry about that. But I am proud of the kid.
Yeah.
I will tell you, having a young quarterback, let's look back at the last couple ones that were successful. Russell Wilson, Ben Roethlisberger coming in the first couple of years, Mark Sanchez coming in AFC Championship games. Mm-hmm. Do we think Zach Wilson is that guy? It's really hard to build around a young quarterback, and it's got to be the right fit. It's not just the talent. It's got to be the fit. There's plenty of players that came out with talent, Jamarcus Russell, that went to a system, that went to a team and just failed. If Jamarcus Russell went to the Patriots, who knows what would have happened. So I think when you look at it, it is the right fit for Zach Wilson, the right environment. And he's got to, like I said, he's got to prove it. And I feel like, if something doesn't work out with this team, it's got to be the coaches. The coaches are definitely on the hot seat this year. I know it's a young team, but we have the talent. We have the general manager. I mean, I'm just telling you right now, you look at Sela, you look at Sean McVay, you look at Sela, you look at Bill Belichick. If I'm looking across, I'm like, Well, obviously, Bill Belichick is way more intelligent than Sela. Sela doesn't have that in-game experience. He's a player's coach. I want to see more from Sela. I want to see him out-coaching other coaches. We didn't see that last year.
Yeah, but
maybe a couple games, but
here's the biggest issue.
I don't know, man. No, I really want to see more from Sela on the floor.
And I hear you, and I understand. Again, these guys, these are their first years as first year head coach for Sela, first year offensive coordinator experience for Mike LaFleur. They're coming off their first year now. They're going into their second years. I think one of the biggest kind of issues with that standpoint is the New York Jets have struggled with talent as well. If you look at some of the issues that we had last season, right, there was a lot of gaping holes in our situation here with the football team, right? You look at our defense, we did not have the pieces to properly run that system. We didn't have a pass rusher. Carl Lawson goes down in the offseason. There was nobody after him, right? A lack of depth. You look at all these other spaces as well that we had problems defensively. There was big-time issues. They were still building. They're still trying to recover. You look at us offensively. Our offensive line was horrific last season. Horrific! Last season. It was bad, right? We couldn't protect Zach Wilson properly, which costed us time with him. And then guess what? That also impacted our lack of a run game. I've heard this from some Jets fans, Angelo. You're not the only person that said this, but I've been against saying that they're on the hot seat. This is only year 2. We're still building. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, but let me tell you why. We continue to build incorrectly. Right? I know we were told that the rebuild started with McCagnon. He didn't properly do it. So here we got Joe Douglas coming in. He's got his drafts. He's got his free agency. We're still putting things together. We can't put coaches on the hot seat in year 2. We can't do that. I don't think that that's fair to them. Okay. But I do think that we should take a step forward. That's what I will say. But I won't say he's on the hot seat. Now, my final question go ahead. I'll let you respond. I'll let you respond.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
I was just saying, the only thing with that, I'll make it short, is that I think you're right. We do have the talent now. Mm-hmm. So obviously, we have the talent. So, okay, coaches, coach the talent. So obviously, if we have a losing record, I understand there's a lot of great teams out there too, man. So you're right. We got to give them a credit on this year because we know it's still kind of a rebuild. Yeah. But I'm telling you, another losing season this year, definitely hot seat next year. But like I said, the thing is, we have a lot of talent this year. So now it's like, okay, coaches, we got you what you wanted. Yeah. Put it on the field now.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling that's how we look at it.
Yeah, and we'll see. Now, my final question before I let you go, Angelo, give me your thoughts about Carl Lawson being out there off the PUP. What do you think about this, man? What are you expecting from this guy? Because we saw the workout video recently. And he put that grown man on his backside. I'm just going to say that. A push and put him on his backside. What are your expectations from Carl Lawson coming off the PUP? It looks like he's going to be out there, man.
All right, like I said, I tore my Achilles probably almost 10 years ago now. And doctor told me 1 year, you'll be 100% recovered. And I'm always a very active kid. I was basketball, football. I mean, I tore it playing basketball. Mm-hmm. I was a gym rat. So I hit the gym, and I would say probably around, I was on a scooter for a little bit, probably around the 6, 7, 8 month mark is where I got my confidence back. I think the 8 month mark is like, okay, I can actually start going out running, doing whatever I can. I was fully 100% recovered before the year. And just imagine what Carl Lawson has had, compared to what I had.
Yeah.
So I can tell you right now, he is 100%. Yeah. Now with my Achilles, I to be honest with you, I don't think I really feel it much more. I kind of forget that it happened. I did, like I said, 100% recover. Every now and then, you get a little sore. So I expect Carl Lawson to play. I expect him to miss a lot of practices this year because of the soreness. Mm-hmm. He's probably going to be sore after the game. But it's all mental. It's mental because it's healed. It ain't going to tear again, or obviously, God forbid, I didn't play football like he did. But if he's looking good, he's feeling good, he's going to play. And like I said, we're going to have to give him a lot of rest. So Jermaine Johnson wants to step in there, and I think you got to play Carl Lawson smart. You're not going to play him every down. He's not going to be an every down type of guy. He might just be a situational pass rusher for a little bit. I think just to kind of get his feet wet. and then we'll see how it goes. But like I said, you got to really take care of it. And his Achilles is gonna be sore. He's gonna have to do a lot of massage. But as long as he rests, eats right, hydrates, he'll play. And I don't know if he's gonna be a superstar like we thought, but I could see him having 10 sacks this year in a situational role if that's what we're gonna do with him.
Yeah, I mean,
there's no reason to rush him back.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. Again, Carl Lawson, he's in phenomenal shape. That dude looks like an action figure. It's like something out of a movie. He's just ripped. It's insane. But I hear what you're saying, Angelo. I want them to be cautious with him as well. But again, he's off that PUP, and I'm pretty sure that they've checked things out, and his workouts have been phenomenal. So on your way out, Angelo, okay, give me the name of 2 players. Who do you think has the most to lose and the most to gain from their performance at training camp? Just give me the name of 2 players. Who do you think has the most to lose and the most to gain from training camp?
Well, from training camp, okay. Thinking about, big picture, obviously it's Mekhi Becton. He has the most to lose, with the money. But he's not losing his spot on the offensive line. You know what, man? To be honest, I don't know what we're doing at linebacker. So whoever we got C.J. Mosley in there, but to be honest with you, I haven't really been looking at football recently. Like, whatever outside linebacker, they have the most to gain, obviously the most to lose because you got a starting spot there waiting for you.
Yep.
Or you're on the special teams or even cut. So, you look at our team now, I know our offensive line, I know our running back, I know our receivers, I know our corners, I know our safeties, I know C.J. Mosley. I know we drafted 2 last year, Nazrul Dean and those guys. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what we're doing at outside linebacker. So Nazrul Dean, if he's the guy we thought, if he's going to take that, is he? I don't know. I don't think he is, but we'll see what happens. Whoever's going to take that outside linebacker spot has the most to gain and also has the most to lose because it's just and obviously, you could think about one of the wide receivers because we got a stacked receiver room too.
Yeah.
So. There's a starting spot for someone out there, or that's it, special teams.
Yeah. Listen, Angelo, I want to thank you for calling in, friend. I'm going to get back to these lines. The lines are hot. We're going to get back to the callers. Salutes to you. Thank you for calling in. You have yourself a good night, my friend.
Thank you, sir. You too, Joe. Bye.
Listen, Angelo calling in with some heat. I didn't agree with them with saying that the coach was on a hot seat. Neither did Dark Soldier. Salutes to the Savages in the chat. Dark Soldier in the chat says, no way the coaches are on a hot seat. It's the second year for Pete's sake. Yeah, I've heard other Jets fans say that as well. I've heard them say it, I'm telling you. Salutes to Dave in the chat as well. He says, just getting in. Happy to see that we added Rashad Davis for the return competition. Yes, Rashad Davis is also does some kick returning and some depth. And he also says that Carl Lawson should be registered with the Department of Defense. Salutes to the Savages in the chat, man. They get after it. Salute. So, listen, we're going to keep getting to these lines again. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in wherever you're watching me from. Please subscribe if you have not subscribed, or if you have subscribed, hit that notification bell. Please subscribe if you have not subscribed. Also, if you like to give to the platform, the super chat is there. If you don't want to hit the super chat, Cash App is at the bottom of the screen. Please give the stream a thumbs up as well. You know what I'm saying? Share it with your friends and your family across the social media. It's always greatly appreciated. So we're going to get back to these lines. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. Next, we're going to my guy, Chris. Chris, we're coming directly to you. Jeremy calling, you'll be next. Salutes to you, Chris. I want to thank you for calling in. Listen, Chris, Carl Lawson is off the PUP, my friend. Give me your thoughts. What are your expectations of him, man?
Carl Lawson is going to be a problem this year. He's in the recently contract year. You're going to see something Jet fans have been seeing before, man. This guy's going to be a monster. So I don't know what the last, be. I don't know. I mean, this guy's going to, do some real damage to quarterbacks.
Yeah, I mean, Chris, let me tell you.
I don't know what people are talking about in terms of. I mean, this guy is just like, it must have killed. When you off a year in the National Football League and you're seeing your team not performing, you hurt, it does something to you, man. So, it looks like he turned his pain into passion
and he's going to make his body a fortress so he can't get hurt.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. And I think he made his body a fortress.
Man, I keep telling people he looks like he's from a movie. Like he literally looks like an action figure.
Yeah,
this dude
man.
is bulked up and he's cut up and he's ripped, man. And I'm telling people, him being back, he's 100% this year. Him and Jermaine
better
Johnson,
watch out, man.
Yeah, him and Jermaine Johnson on this line, it's just going to absolutely cause so many problems for opposing offenses. They're just going to be able to get pass rush and get pressure and hurries, and that's going to really help our defense. Now, when you look at our defense, again, training camp is here. Everybody's fired up. When you look at our defense, what position battle are you looking forward to the most as training camp continues to pan out?
I think the last caller hit it. I think the linebackers. I think you look at the linebackers and you think, but look, Hasselbean is a good player, and he got hurt last year. You know, I watched the guy at Florida State. You know, really a good player, man. You know, I think he could do something. Quincy Williams. I think they're decent linebackers, and I think that they can get the job done. I think we might bring in a free agent. But I think the positional thing at the linebacker is going to be interesting to watch. But, you know, the linebacker situation is kind of changing in the NFL. It's like a safety kind of position. So, like, you got to be covering and stuff like that. You got the dog C.J. Mosley back there. So,
yeah,
you got one of the best linebackers in the NFL in there. So, you can count C.J. Mosley as two linebackers because that guy is special. That guy's a Hall of Famer. That guy is a monster. That guy's a beast. I don't know what people talking about cutting this guy. He makes too much money. This guy is just as good as any linebacker you've seen. Urlacher, all of them. That's C.J. Mosley, man.
Wow.
He is a monster.
Yeah.
Okay. You got one of the best linebackers in the NFL. So people talking about linebacking core is not great. Well, you got one of the best linebackers in the NFL. Definitely top 10.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you know, you can't have everything. You can't have an all-star at every position. That's not the NFL. That's basketball.
Yeah, you know, when you look at our linebacker position, it's interesting. A lot of people are bringing this up. I've talked about it as well throughout the offseason. Like you said, Quincy Williams, another guy that really showed flashes. I'm excited for him this upcoming season. A lot of people thinking that he's going to have a Pro Bowl season this upcoming season. It's definitely possible. We saw those flashes. Now with him kind of being the ipso facto guy on the other side of C.J. Mosley, who's phenomenal. But again, I think we also have to keep in mind that clock is ticking on him. He's getting older. You know what I'm saying? He's getting up there. He's in his 30s. He's going to be moving up, and he's also making a lot of money.
Listen, I know you guys talk about the contract.
17.5
contract, but you wouldn't cut Ray Lewis. Would you cut guys just an undercut of Ray Lewis?
Listen, I hear you, Chris.
Guy, I'm just telling you,
I hear you. 17.5, 17.5 million. Listen. Unless you're somebody in there, even Ray Lewis in his prime. Okay, yeah, that's Ray Lewis in his prime. But it's like, come on, 17.5, and then it goes up to 18 something next year. It's like, you know, hopefully we can restructure. But again, you know, we got to figure out what's going to be happening with him, you know, because like you said as well, the depth of the linebacker spot is one of the biggest concerns because after him, there's nobody.
Yeah.
You know, like you said, the other side, there's just a starting spot just waiting there. You know, Hamza Nasruddin, Jamin Sherwood, could it be either one of those guys? Okay, yeah, because the spot is open, but it's going to be intriguing to see who ends up panning out and taking that other linebacker spot because it's just up for grabs. You know what I'm saying? So I hear you there, but another position battle that I'm kind of, you know, a little surprised that nobody's talked about is the cornerback. The cornerback position, there's a lot of battles there, right? You look at our number one spot.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Bryce Hall just ain't going to let it go. I know people have just pinned in Sauce Gardner, and I love Sauce.
No. I love Bryce Hall.
But, bro, he ain't just going to let it go. So that's where I want to go with you next. I want to get your thoughts about that situation at that cornerback spot is, hey, what are your thoughts about the battle there? Who do you think ends up being the number 1 and 2?
I was calling for Bryce Hall. I was calling for Bryce Hall in the draft when he was calling, and I was calling for Isaiah Dunn. And those guys are really good quarterbacks. So it's going to be interesting. Sauce is going to have to earn it because these guys are really, really good. Now Sauce is good, but you Isaiah Dunn and these guys. Isaiah Dunn was a rookie last year.
Mm-hmm.
We got some other guys down there. We got a very good cornerback room over there. We got the deepest, and we got some guys that can cover. Now we got a pass rush.
Mm-hmm.
We have some guys that can cover. So we're gonna see. I mean, it's gonna be interesting who we keep.
Yeah. I mean, and again, we just talking about the number 1 and 2 spot, but Michael Carter, the second at that slot spot, where does he go? Again, you got DJ Reed here as well. DJ Reed, Bryce Hall, Sauce Garner, Michael Carter, Eccles. There's so many guys that are going to be battling there. It's going to be absolutely crazy, man. So we're going to see how that cornerback spot pans out. There's so much competition there at that spot. It's full of sharks, man, full of complete sharks. Now, I want to go to the offense with you really quickly as well. Man, there's been a lot of talk about Becton this offseason, a lot of disrespect, people saying he was 400 pounds, all these things. He shows up to camp. He damn sure don't look like he's 400 pounds. I mean, he couldn't have lost all that 400 pounds that quickly. You know what I'm saying? That was just reported maybe a week, 2 weeks ago, right? So maybe he was never really 400 pounds. We don't really know at this point. But he showed up. He's looked good. So at this point, right, he showed up. He's looked good. So give me your thoughts about him. He's off the PUP. Do you think he'll be able to take this left tackle spot?
Yes. Yes. You're looking at Teron Smith type year this year for Mekhi Becton.
Wow. Okay.
Those guys in Virginia. You talked about. I got family down there that goes down there. I got some people close to Mekhi Becton, and this dude is just. I told you about this months ago.
Yeah.
So the dude is going to have a Teron Smith type year. He's going to prove he's going to be one of the best left tackles in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
God help you if you go against Mekhi Becton. That's all I got to tell you this year. God help you. God help you.
Man, I'm telling you, he's motivated, Chris. We all know. Now, before I let you go, Chris, give me the name.
I'm done. No, Joe, I'm dead seriously, man.
Oh, y'all know.
I'm dead serious, man.
Listen.
God help you if you go against Mekhi Becton.
Man,
I'm serious.
I
Man.
know.
To get a guy that big,
mm-hmm.
Yeah. Waking up in the morning, your mom telling you that they get you're gonna see something.
I already know, Chris. I
pray for any. You're gonna get into it, man.
I
pray for you.
I already know, Chris. I've been telling people. People was trying to get at me, and I went back and forth with a lot of people. But I've been telling people, listen, if you think that Mekhi Becton is going to be joking around this year or not going to be prepared, you're out of your mind. And we're seeing different here. So again, he's off the PUP, and he told y'all already that he about to let y'all know what time it is because he heard you, and he's going to make you eat your words. Now, before I let you go, Chris, give me the name of 2 players, right? Who do you think has the most to lose and the most to gain from their performance at training camp? Give me the name of 2 players quickly.
Lawrence Cager, because he's been killing it.
Okay.
And he may sneak up on the team.
Mm-hmm.
And the most to gain, I would say, is Quincy Williams. To solidify his position at the linebacker.
Okay. Those are solid takes there. Listen, Chris, I want to thank you for coming on, my friend. You have yourself a good night, all right?
All right, thanks a lot.
All right. Listen, Chris coming on. Unique takes. Most to lose, most to gain. I'm telling you, training camp is here. It's time to fight. Salutes to all the savages in the chat. Salutes to all of them. You know what I'm saying? We're going to keep getting to these lines. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. Next, we're going to my guy, Jeremy. Colin, North Carolina. Rusty, we'll get to you in a second. Salutes to you, Jeremy. I want to thank you for coming on the show tonight. It's always good to speak to you. Listen, we're fired up, man. I'm telling you, we are hyped tonight. Training camp is rolling. Veterans have reported, now we got guys that are going to be in camp or going to be in full practice tomorrow. But before we get to that, does anybody know that Jeremy is a savage? He's a savage. He's a damn savage, man. You got to wake up. Listen, Jeremy, salutes. Jeremy, give me your thoughts about Mekhi Becton showing up in shape, looking ready to go. It's looking like he's going to shut people down. How are you feeling about how he showed up, how he's looking, and do you think that left tackle position is his?
I think he's been what I've been screaming, I think you've been screaming about forever. This is a guy who, when he's on the field, as a rookie, was showing us and making us believe and proving it on the field.
Mm-hmm.
He's been, again, he's been criticized his entire life about his size. And he came in his rookie year and he was crushing it.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a great rookie year. Guy fell on his knee last year, and suddenly we've had to stomach these critics and stomach these people who believe everything these beat writers write.
Yep.
And just take it and take it and take it. And I think, as frustrated as we are, Becton, multiply it by 20. And your previous caller had it right. I feel sorry for whoever has to go against Becton, because Becton's going to make people pay.
Yeah.
He's going to punish people.
Yeah.
Now, as far as left or right tackle, I'm not going to make that prediction. I think that he's going to come in good enough to play left tackle, and good, and I don't think that's an issue. Now, are they going to make a strategic decision? Are they going to decide that George Fant is a great pass protector, and for whatever reasons that we're a better team this year if Becton's on the right side with his run blocking? If they want to make a decision like that, it's not the end of the world. It doesn't mean that Becton's not going to eventually be the long-term left tackle. So I'm not going to try to make that prediction. I'll just say, if he is on the right side, it's not because he got beat out or because of a lack of talent. It'll be because that's what's just schematically the best option for the Jets right now this year.
Okay. Going
into this year. So I believe that there's not going to be anything people are going to be able to say about Becton this year. He's going to come out and he's going to resume the career that he was projected to have as a rookie, and that is dominant tackle.
Yeah. Yeah, he is. I'm telling you. And let me tell you something. The last time I saw Mekhi Becton as a starting left tackle, he was dominant. So we'll see. He's in shape and he's fully ready to go. And I'm telling you, I'm fired up about it. Another guy I'm fired up about as well, Zach Wilson. Jeremy, there's so much been surrounding him as well. My first caller talked about the off-season stuff, off the field stuff, excuse me, that supposedly went on during the off-season, a lot of rumors. We heard a lot of negative comments from the media. Tiki Barber talked about him negatively as well. A lot of question marks surrounding him. Some people wondering if he could be the future for the New York Jets. They don't know. What are your expectations for Wilson setting the tone in training camp? What do you think he's going to have to do? What are you expecting him to look like going into the camp and doing the things that he needs to do out there?
Well, first, I think the way he handled the offseason was great. He doesn't fire back at any of these guys that critique him, and I love that about him. He's already showing the maturity of a real leader who believes in himself. People who believe in themselves and don't doubt themselves and don't believe what the critics are saying, they don't have to go out there and fire back. They don't have to go out there and say, well, I'm going to and say negative things about those guys, right? So right away, we're talking about somebody who's looking like he's just maturing into one of those real true team leaders, right? Like a Peyton Manning. When you look at the type of players, even like a Patrick Mahomes right now, when people critique him, you don't see him getting into these little petty war of words. Yeah, he's a leader. He's a man. And he doesn't have time for that. The way he handled the whole thing about an ex-mate dating an ex-girlfriend, and she makes an accusation about him, and he comes in and he says, "Hey, here I'm in Arizona working my tail off with some guys right now. My internet's not great. What did I miss?" What a perfect response to it, right? Yeah. So that's leadership right there, showing his teammates that you don't get into it in social media. You don't fight with these people. You just take care of business. So right away, I have more confidence in him than I did even last year, because he's showing even more that this is going to be a true leader, like just as a human being. Now, as far as what he has to do, I think we're hearing that he's doing what he has to do. Like the feedback's been great from the other players, that he's been coming in, he's making quicker decisions. He knows the playbook better. He's more comfortable with the playbook. And that was key. We have to remember, we chose that method of, there's two different approaches you can have. You can baby a quarterback, only give him a certain amount of plays, simplify the playbook, or you could throw the whole book at him. And they threw the whole book at him in a very complex offense. Yeah. Now he's had a full year to learn the plays. And everything we're hearing is that he looks more comfortable, that he's coming in and he's more comfortable with the plays where he doesn't have to think as much. It's going to become more instinctual for him. And the other thing I really like is one of the comments he made is like he was saying last year, I could remember looking at my first progression, even when I should have. Now I'm looking at it and saying, oh, how did I not realize the way the defensive was lined up? I shouldn't even wasted my time.
Yeah.
I should have went right to my second.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and like, so everything he's saying is right. He physically and realistically has to do it on the field, but I don't think as fans we could want or expect anything more from a 23-year-old. Like, he's coming in with saying all the right things. The coaches are saying all the right things about him. Now it's just a matter of going onto the field and actually doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. You hit the nail on the head there, man. I'm really looking to see him come in, be crisp, clean, decisive with the football. Like you said, just continuing to work and continuing to show leadership out there, getting in and out of the huddle quickly. Because again, this is all the building up. You know, we're going to start really figuring out, you know, who's going to sit where within the positions also. Then we're going into preseason, and then before you know it, season's going to be here and it's going to be time to go. I just want to see Zack, you know, continue to walk that line, just like we saw in OTAs, where a lot of people were talking about how decisive, how quick he is getting the ball out of his hands, how he deciphers things quickly, like you said as well, all the studying, all that, just showing us out there on the field. So that's huge. Now, going to the defensive side of the ball with you really quickly, man, Carl Lawson off the PUP. Give me your thoughts on what you expect from him, you know, coming into this season, man. This guy looks phenomenal. He still looks in great shape, Jeremy.
He's one of those people that if he's healthy and his body allows it, he's going to perform.
Yeah.
Because he's, you know, it's like they're just people that have a special motor, not the motor in their body, the motor in their brain, just the motivation, right? And he's one of those special people, like, that go beyond even their own physical capability based on their internal motivation. Just something about him, a desire to be great, a willingness to do anything to be great. I think that's in Carl Lawson. It's just a matter of he can't control the Achilles of his ankle, right? So we just have to get lucky with that. We have to hope that he's one of those guys, one of the success stories where the surgery went well, it's going to hold up. And if he holds up physically, and those are things he can control. The last thing I'm worried about with Carl Lawson is the things he can control. Everything that he can control, he's done nothing but shine. I mean, he's just excellent. He is the perfect example of somebody who pursues greatness and does everything in order to achieve it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like I said, that guy is jacked. I mean, he's ridiculously ripped and still doing this thing. That workout where he just pushed that guy, bowled him over, I was like, wow, like this guy is still putting in work. And it's just great to see him come back from that, you know, that injury that costed him, you know, the season for us last year. And now he's going to be back out there on the field paired with, you know, Jermaine Johnson, all the other guys we got in the past, or Jacob Martin and Michael Clemens and all these guys. And I'm telling you, that defensive line is just beastly, and we're going to wreck shop. But I got to get back to these lines, Jeremy, and it's been phenomenal speaking to you. Before I let you go, man, give me the name of two players, man. Who do you think has the most to lose and the most to gain from their performance at training camp?
Well, an obvious one to me that has the most to lose or the most to gain and has so much riding on this training camp is on the offensive side, I would say Denzel Mims.
Okay.
So Mims
go ahead, Jeremy. I've been waiting. Go ahead. Talk to us. Why?
I mean,
Why?
Mims has an opportunity to show that last year was just a catastrophic year of his life. Like it was the only year like it in his life. He's done nothing but excel and do well until last year. So this is where he has an opportunity to come in and show that was just a year that he's put behind him and be the phenomenal athlete we know he can be. And he has a chance as far as to gain. I mean, he has a lot to lose because if he doesn't do that, he doesn't know the playbook, he's gone. He's either be traded for a low round pick or he's going to get cut because there's no way we're going to hold on to someone that, you know, if it looks like it's going to be the same thing as last year. But then at the same time, he has so much to gain because if he comes in, he's really the best option if he's back to that trajectory of where he was from his rookie year, that next step. He's really the best option to come in for Corey Davis needs a break. Corey Davis gets banged up, misses a game, anything like that. To me, Denzel Mims, there's an opportunity to come in there and play the X as the backup to Corey Davis. And so there is a high-end resolution for him, because if Corey Davis just gets banged up and misses a game or two and Denzel comes in and gets the opportunity to play in that X, he might, have some big games and really reestablish his career. On the defensive side, I'd say most to lose and most to gain is Ashton Davis. Because here's a guy, because the fans, this is a guy who could end up not making the cut or be the first option off the bench if one of our two, if Whitehead or Joyner go down, or even be a third guy on the field sometimes. So I think there's a big sway. There's a big downside and upside for Ashton Davis for sure. And I think I've never seen fans so mixed as far as their opinions of a player as I've seen with Ashton Davis.
Yeah. Wow. Jeremy with some takes, man. Listen, let's give Jeremy a hand. I always like Jeremy. He knows what he's talking about. Audience, give him a hand, man. Who knows? Whoa. Look, I like Jeremy. I think he's a good guy, but I'm not paying you guys extra for clapping longer than you should be clapping. Okay, calm down. Jeremy's a great guy. He's great. I like him a lot. He's cool. But the way my cash flow works, I'm not paying you guys extra. Okay, so just settle down. So listen, Jeremy, I want to thank you for calling in. I want to thank you for coming on the show. It's phenomenal to speak with you. You have yourself a good night, my friend.
All right, take care, bro.
You have a good one. Listen, Jeremy coming on, sharing his knowledge. We're going to keep getting to these lines. Studio audience is out of control, man. Again, please give the stream a thumbs up wherever you're watching me from. Please share the stream as well with your friends and your family along your social media too. If you like to give to the program, the super chat's there. If not, the Cash App is there as well. And anyone, if you have not subscribed, please subscribe to the stream as well. Please subscribe to the channel and also hit that notification bell. All right. So salutes to everybody. My studio audience, y'all need to calm down a little bit. So we're going to get back to these lines again. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. Next, we're going to my guy, Colin. Colin, we're coming to you next. Carolina, Rusty, Steve will get to you right in a second. Salutes to you, Colin. I want to thank you for calling in. Listen, Colin, we're talking a lot, man. Give me your thoughts about Becton coming into camp in shape. Things look good. What are your expectations out of him, and do you think he takes that left tackle spot?
Hello?
Colin, yes? I'm sorry, 616.
This is not Colin.
I'm sorry, 616 or 661, excuse me. Give me your take on that, my friend.
I'm happy to hear that he's healthy. All this bad reports just saying bad things about him. Mm-hmm. Now we get to see the actual truth, and he's in great shape. And I can't wait to see him on the field, and hopefully he stays on the field. Yeah, hopefully he does, man. Look, I'm excited. I know a lot of people have talked about him, had a lot of negative stuff to say about him, but let me tell you something. This guy's fired up. He's fired up and he is ready to go, and he's going to shut down a lot of nonsense that people have been talking about. Again, we've already seen people said he was 400 pounds. That man does not look anywhere near 400 pounds at all. You know what I'm saying? At all. So it's like, he's already shutting that down there. Now, when we talk about the offense, we talk about this offensive line. We've heard a lot of great things from Elijah Vera-Tucker as well about some of the work that he's put in the offseason. What are your thoughts about him sitting down with Lakeland Thomas and also working out with him in the offseason, man? How do you feel about a young player like him putting in the work in the offseason to get better? Well, it's great to hear that he's talking to his veteran, a guy like Lakeland Thompson, who's been amazing. Mm-hmm. Try to pick his brain and try to get better and probably help him with his technique. It's great. It's great to see the veterans helping with the young guys. Hopefully, because it's just going to help everyone in the building and just make us stronger. So I'm very excited for it. And you know what? It's hope we all can be healthy this year. And we may have a top 10 offensive line if everything goes through as planned. Yeah. Hopefully, like he said, some of the same things. We're going to be scary. We're going to be scary up front. Now, one of the things that
I'm intrigued by is some of the battles that we're going to see on offense, right? Some of the position battles. For you, when you look at some of these young guys, some of the rookies that are going to come in, do you see a spot on the offense where you think a rookie will be able to snatch a starting spot away from a veteran?
Yes, there's a couple. Obviously Bryce Hall, running back.
Okay, talk about
obviously, it seems like he's going to be pushing Michael Carter to be a role type of player, which it's good, because then we can have two great running backs and we can use them as weapons. Also with Wilson, I don't think at the very beginning he may not be pushing people out, but I think at the end of the season he'd be like more like last year, where we get to see more. We get to see him be great at the end of the season. I think Moore is going to be able to do great. And then on the defensive side, I would have to say Jermaine Johnson. Jermaine Johnson's going to be able to go one-on-one. I believe the other people are going to be probably double teaming Quinn Williams or Lawson. So he's going to get his chance, and hopefully with his chance, he can be a dominant pass rusher.
Okay. Yeah, I could definitely see that. Again, like you talked about just on the offensive side, I think a lot of people are sleeping. Listen, I love Michael Carter. I think he's phenomenal, but there's a lot of people talking about, hey, Bryce Hall's a guy that can end up being that starting running back, and he can definitely run the rock and push it. Because, this guy is extremely talented. Even when you talk about the wide receiver spot, Garrett Wilson could be a guy. I'm telling you. We've heard so many great things about him in OTAs and the work that he's putting in. Everybody's just talking about how freakishly athletic he is. It's completely crazy. Now, Jason, this is my final question for you, man. When you look at this team, right, what player do you think has the most to lose and the most to gain from their performance in training camp? Give me one on offense and give me one on defense.
I was going to say Denzel Mills, but I got somebody take them. So you can take them. You can take them. I'm going to go with somebody different.
Okay.
Nah, I'm going to make this more fun. I'm going to say the most is Mike White. And the reason why I said Mike White is because he has the chance to show us this preseason and this training camp to show that what we saw from him last year when we win against the Bengals and a couple of these other teams, that he can continue it and he could be survive a backup for the rest of his career, and help us. He could be like the Nick Folk to the Eagles. So I'm hoping for that. So he has much for that to prove. And then for defense, let's see. I think Ashton Davis, he has to do something this year, or else I think he's going to be off the team.
Wow. Okay. Listen, you are not the only Jets fan that I've talked to. I'm a fan myself. I've gone back and forth with so many people, and they talk about the same thing, that, this guy Ashton Davis needs to pick it up, or he might be packing up. You know what I'm saying? He might be up out of here. So, listen, Jason, you have gave us some solid takes. Studio audience, give Jason a hand, man. He knows what he's talking about. Yeah. I respect it. Yeah. Again, y'all too long, okay? It's going on for too long, okay? Settle down. I like him too. He's a great guy. Great takes from Jay. Love him. But come on, man. I'm not paying y'all extra for that. So, listen, Jason, I want to thank you for calling in, my friend. You have yourself a good night, all right?
You too as well. Jet up, everyone.
That's what I'm talking about. Let's go. Listen, studio audience, I need y'all to settle down. You know what I'm saying? I need y'all to settle down, but Jets, Jets. You know what I'm saying? I'm fired up. I'm not going to let the studio audience, stop my shine or take away my energy. I love this team. I'm not paying you extra, all right? So we're going to get back to these lines again. 515-6029-639. 515-6029-639 is the number. Call in. We are taking all callers. Salutes to all the savages in the chat. Trevor from Canada salutes to you. Trevor says he's got a hot take. He says Garrett Wilson becomes the first Jets receiver since Brandon Marshall in 2015 to reach 1,000 yards. That's what Trevor says he's got. That's his hot take. Salutes. We'll see. There's going to be, some things to be thrown around. We got a lot of options. We'll see what's going on in his first year. That's 1,000 yards for a rookie wide receiver. We'll see what happens. You know what I'm saying? Salutes to all the savages in the chat. We'll continue on with the show. Get back to these lines. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. Next, we're going to my guy from North Carolina. Rusty Steve, we'll come to you in a second. Salutes to you, my friend. I want to thank you for calling in tonight. Listen, there's so much to talk about. Training camp, veterans reported today. They're going to have their practices on Wednesday, or start the practice on Wednesday. A lot of guys have come on. All our veterans reported. We got guys coming off the PUP. We're seeing Mekhi Becton step onto this field, man. We're seeing him step into the facility. He looked amazing, right? Looks like he's in extremely good shape. How are you feeling about him going into training camp, and do you think he'll be able to shut down all the criticism and hate that he received in the offseason?
I want to thank you, first of all, for taking my call, and I feel a lot better hearing that he and a number of our key players are off that PUP list. Mm-hmm. I got a little early today, and I was so relieved. I got a little worried. I said, oh, my God, oh, no. Mm-hmm. But I kind of want to calm down and not think the worst, is that maybe they're just taking it slow and deliberate with these key players because they're coming off injuries, and we still have a lot of time before things start to really pick up in training camp, get into our first preseason game, eventual regular season. Mekhi Becton, as far as he's concerned, biggest thing, step one, is getting in shape. I know it was a really hard and painful year for him last year, and disastrous year being lost, early in the season, and I know it hurt him very badly. So it's been a long road back and having to deal with a lot of unnecessary BS about his weight and all this stuff, and he shut that down by coming in good, really good shape. I think some of the photos, he looked really trim. For a man his size, he looked good, and that's a great sign. So at least he's healthy, he's strong, he looks a lot more fit than he's been in a long time, even slimmer than he was when he came into the league. Was 276 or 366, I think it was.
I think it was something like that. Yeah, 363 or something like that. That's
right. So that's a good sign for him, and because we know he's a tremendous player. And I said many months ago, going into the earlier draft earlier this year, that he was a prototypical left tackle. When all the Ikemi Kwanu talk was out there and Evan Neal talk was out there, I said that Becton is the prototypical left tackle. Teams are going to be looking for guys that fit the mold of Mekhi Becton. It's not going to be enough of guys to just be 6'5" or 6'4" and weigh 315. They're going to be looking for guys that are enormous, closer to Mekhi's traits, and comparing them to him. If they have any movement skills at all, and as big as he is. So I'm very happy, and I'm ready for this competition to resume between he and George Fant. I think back to George Fant. We acquired him. A lot of us didn't think much of it when we got him from Seattle, but little did we know how good a tackle he is. So I think that whatever way the decision goes, it's made by Saul and the staff. I have to trust that it's going to be the right one for this team, and I think we're going to be fine either way.
Yeah. And now I want to talk about this as well, because I had a lot of discussions with different people during the offseason. If Mekhi Becton doesn't win the left tackle spot and gets moved to right tackle, would you consider him a bust?
Oh, no. I think in the back of my mind, I'm weighing this decision based on Fant being a more suitable left than right and being less adaptable than Mekhi. Mekhi can play either side and dominate.
Yeah.
He's a freaker. He's a true monster, Becton is. He'll dominate either side he goes to. I don't know if we can say that about Fant. I don't know if Fant is a serviceable right tackle, but I guess obviously his strength, for what they got to see when Becton went down at left tackle, he exhibited a strength to play left tackle. And that wouldn't be the end. Though I kind of want to see Becton be our left tackle, because I believe he could be an all-pro left tackle and perhaps a future Hall of Fame tackle, because he has that level of ability to be unique. Even put him up next to DeBrickashaw Ferguson. We have our true heir apparent. We've been looking for a replacement for Brickford, for quite a while. Retired, and then went to the Wall of Honor, and so our little Ring of Honor. And I was glad he's being recognized as one of our best tackles the franchise has ever had. And Mekhi is a worthy heir apparent. That's why in the back of my mind, I don't want to see Mekhi move, because I want to see him be the heir apparent to replace the Brickashaw Ferguson and dominate the position for 10 years and go to at least 5 or 6, 7 Pro Bowls and, gain Hall of Fame consideration and, achieve the full accolades that I think he has the potential to do.
Yep.
But it's going to be interesting, though. The thing's going to really heat up now. And I've been listening to some of your earlier calls, and I'm kind of thinking about when you ask me that question, who's got the most at stake?
Yeah.
You talk about offense and defense. Obviously, I've got a couple of names, one on offense, one on defense. As far as the offensive side, I'm thinking Denzel Mims.
Okay.
I think Denzel Mims has a lot on the line. I think this year he's got to show and demonstrate that he can adapt to this West Coast. It's been rough for him. Some things that happened were unforeseen, wasn't his fault. He got the food poisoning. And then he got the COVID. And when I heard he got the COVID, I said, "Oh my God, he got COVID." So it's like that just put him out of his misery. What was a tough year anyway. And hopefully he'll have a chance to get in shape, get healthy. And the reports have been very positive on him. They say he's in great physical condition, the best that he's been since he's been a part of the Jets. And hopefully he's studied the playbook and had a chance to put that practice time in, work on his routes. I think that's what really held him back is the ability to be versatile within this offense. LaFleur wants versatility. He wants guys that can line up wide, line up in the slot. Because what he wants to do is employ an offense that's so versatile and so unpredictable that it's hard for any defense to lock in on us as far as what we're doing. I see what he's trying to do, and hopefully Mims is ready to exert himself, because I think if he does, he could be the next man. Everybody's been talking about him being a replacement possibly for Corey Davis.
Yeah, there's been a lot of people saying that. Yep.
Yeah, I'm thinking that he's younger. He's in great shape, and I think he has a little bit of a higher ceiling than Davis, even though Davis was highly regarded when we acquired him, a good wide receiver. But I think I have a feeling that Denzel Mims might have a little bit higher ceiling,
Yeah. No, yeah. Listen, I hear you. What about the defensive side?
Now, defense, I know that Quentin Williams is looking for a long-term deal. Carl Lawson, he wants to prove, why we invested and paid him what we paid him. And Joe Douglas did take a risk. But I believe it's Bryce Hall.
Talk about it. Talk about it.
Free agency.
Yep. Go ahead.
That's right. I thought he was a steal as a 5th-round pick. I didn't do that prior to us drafting him. I took it. I did a little bit later on Bryce Hall, but I didn't know to what extent how good a corner Bryce Hall was. He was kind of a sleeper, and I think he was hurt or something happened with him that caused him to slip to the 5th round. Where I think he probably should have been going maybe if not the 2nd round, 3rd round.
Yeah.
But certainly a lot earlier than he was picked. And then somehow he slid all the way to the 5th round, and we nabbed him. And there was a positive reaction to it. I didn't know much about it. I was just going off people's reaction. I said, "Oh, there must be something to this. This cat must be a pretty good corner." And he proved himself to be a very good, solid starting corner. And I think that's despite the fact he had no pass rush to speak of.
Yep.
We lost Carl Lawson early and several other players early. And my man Bryce Hall, who I was looking forward to seeing him flash his talent, we lost him, and it just fell apart. It's like we were just bleeding, just hemorrhaging injuries, and I think they have done what he did with no pass rush up front to support him, because people don't realize when you have a good pass rush, you can put that quarterback in a situation where he's much more timid in the pocket.
Yep.
You can see him maybe rush some throws, and maybe he might have had a little bit of time. He might be hearing those footsteps.
Exactly.
You might see throws off the mark or in that just little things.
Yeah.
People don't realize.
Throwing
watch
timing
games.
off.
I've watched the game for over 42 years, and I've seen it. When the Jets had the Sack Exchange, the Giants, when they had their terrifying linebacker group with just the proposition of Lawrence Taylor coming on that blind side and quarterbacks being worried, and how you might see those errant throws. And because when you have a good pass rush, you don't need great corners.
Yeah.
You just need steady corners.
Yep.
The Giants were the best illustrated of that. They had this guy, I think his name was Elvis Patterson. They called him Toast, and he was always getting beat. But because those guys were making the ball come out, you saw a lot of poor throws against that secondary.
Yeah.
So they didn't have to hold the coverages tight. And I think our secondary now is light years above what the Giants had in the 80s, with Hall and Sauce Gardner,
Yeah. No, yeah.
Light years above what they had at that time.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking facts there. When you can have a pass rush that can get to quarterback, like you said, it creates mistakes. When you have 30 years to throw the ball, like we saw last year against us, right? With no pass rush, anybody was throwing for 300 yards against us. We almost couldn't stop it because there was nobody to get to the quarterback. But when you got a second and a half, or sometimes just a second, it's like, hey, you got to make a decision, or you're going to get hit, you're going to get stripped, or you got to get the ball out of there.
That's right.
And that leads to mistakes. That absolutely does. Leads to a lot of turnovers too. I think our defense will have more turnovers because of our pass rush. Go ahead.
That's right. But you know what my biggest concern about this team is? My biggest concern, it's bigger than our pass rush. Mm-hmm. It's bigger than our corners on the backside, even though we have a little inexperience, with Gardner, even though he's highly touted. Yeah. He is a rookie. And even though Zach Wilson, people are looking to see him step up and make kind of a little bit of a leap in year 2, mm-hmm. You know what it is? I'm more worried about this team's ability to stop the run. I'm very concerned about that.
Okay.
Because the Jets front looked very soft, and I know back in the day, in the early 80s, when I was a kid, the 4-3 didn't let you run on them at all. Mm-hmm. With Klecko and Marty Lyons and on the inside and Abdullah, you couldn't run. And Greg Buttle, you just didn't run at all.
And that
did not run at all. That defense was rated number 1 against the run. I think it was number 2 against the pass.
Yeah.
Number 1 against the pass, number 2 against the run. So the 4-3 that the Jets ran at that time was not a soft 4-3 at all.
I think that, and I hear you, and there's a lot of people I've gone back and forth with that, talking about how they think, we don't necessarily have that big nose tackle. That's what we need up front. But I think that the person that's going to answer that question, if, the Jets become a better run defense, the guy that's going to lead that is Quentin Williams. That's what I think that this year is going to be about with Quinn Williams. I know that there's a lot of people talking about sack numbers and stuff like that. Some people think he's going to have double-digit sacks. I don't know about that, but I think that Quinn Williams will cause disruption because now he's got the added pieces, right? He's got Jermaine Johnson on one side. He's got Carl Lawson on the other side. So it's like, hey, we finally have a defensive front where you can't just double Quinn Williams. You can't do that anymore. So that's going to equal one-on-one matchups.
That's right.
And when one-on-one matchups come with Quentin Williams, if he's going to ever turn into the guy that we thought that we were getting, right, when we took him at number 3, he's even talked about not living up to that third pick in the first round. If he's ever going to turn into that guy, he's going to have to come in and wreck shop, which is going to turn into disruptions, tackles for losses, pressures, just penetrating the backfield, just causing havoc. That's what I want to see from Quentin Williams, and I think that will turn into not being able to run on the New York Jets. Because when Quentin Williams is in your ear, when you get the handoff, where you going to go? Where you going to go?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's where I think it goes.
It was only 2 years ago.
Yeah.
When Quentin Williams showed flashes when he went head-to-head with Aaron Donald. You remember that? He's the reason we lost that draft position,
Yeah.
It wasn't a May. People think Marcus May made the play, but it was Quentin Williams' play. He was just as good as Aaron Donald. Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
Playing just as well as Aaron Donald did in that game. He was tremendous.
Listen.
You're right. The domino effect of having that talent around him, I think he could yield us results. I'm certainly hoping so. We're going to be tested early.
Yep.
The Ravens, are no joke. They're tough.
That's a fact.
They're tough. It's not so much just their running back you got to worry about. You got to, just like Buffalo, you have to worry about the quarterback breaking those runs. I don't know what Saul's going to come up with. He better really have his thinking cap on and devise some kind of plan to contain him. Because I think if we can contain him week 1, we can shock them and beat the Ravens.
Yeah. And we'll see. Now, before I let you go, my friend, because the lines are hot, really quickly, give me a rookie on offense and defense that you think will potentially have a big impact.
Oh, now the rookies.
Give me one on
offense.
I'm
thinking Garrett Wilson.
Okay.
Garrett Wilson on offense. On defense, I'm thinking Jermaine Johnson.
Okay.
I'm thinking because of what he can contribute as a run defender. I think he does have a higher pass rush ceiling than people think he does. But I think initially, early in his career, we're going to need him to stop the run even more than rush the passer. Because he was so forced and rated so low against the run. We need him to be stout and effective and be tough against the run. And I think that'll help to elevate this defense.
Okay. Yeah, man. I like those choices. Garrett Wilson, a lot of people talking about him pushing this year to, really make a big time impact and explode. But like you said, Jermaine Johnson on defense too. We're kind of on him to do so much. You talk about stopping the run, but also helping again to rush the passer. That's why we were so excited. We finally got another pass rush on the other side of Carl Lawson. But listen, my friend, I got to get back to these lines, man. I want to thank you for calling in tonight. It was phenomenal to speak to you, man.
And same here, Joe. And thank you for taking my call. You take care, buddy.
Absolutely. You have a good one, my friend. Listen, my guy from North Carolina knows his stuff, okay? When he talks his Jets, he knows what he's talking about, all right? So, this guy knows his stuff. Listen, we're going to get back to these lines again. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in, okay? We're taking all callers. Lines are hot. We'll get to everybody. Again, please subscribe to the stream if you have not subscribed. Hit that notification bell so when I post content, you folks will be in the know. All right? Please do that. Also, share the stream with your friends and your family across your social media. It's always greatly appreciated. So we're going to get back to these lines again. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. Next, we're going to my guy, Rusty. We're going to Rusty. Salute, Steve. We'll get to you next. All the other callers will get to you in a second. Listen, this is my guy, Rusty. For those of you that do not know, Rusty, straight savage. He's a savage. Damn, that boy savage. Damn. I'm trying to tell y'all. Listen, Rusty, salutes to you. I want to thank you for calling in tonight. It's great to speak with you. Listen, we're training camp underway.
Great speaking with you too, Joe.
Listen, salutes. Training camp veterans report today.
Salute,
we fired
Joe,
up.
salute savages.
Well, listen, we fired up. Okay, we fired up.
I butchered that intro so bad.
Becton has showed up. Becton has showed up in shape, looking great. Give me your thoughts about him being activated off that PUP. Is it time to just say, listen, Makai's our starting left tackle, and it is what it is? Let me know.
I'm McDonald's, I love him. It's our guy Makai. So I'm I'm loving it. I'm there, man. It's I don't know. I don't know how people could be shocked. Like me and you aren't, and there's some savages, a majority. But seeing what he's been doing, the proof has been in the pudding in the pictures, and it's just like, okay, I'm just gonna wear, a big fat Albert shirt, basically, so you really can't see nothing, and. There you go, country club. That one's for you, Skipper. So it's good. And as far as with the left tackle and the right tackle, I've been saying it too. I've got to concur with Jeremy. He's a dominant left, but we can't have Fant on the right side. It's bad, and. It's like, we're at the mercy of it almost, but Makai will be our starting left tackle. We'll give Fant this money, and I think, but in a way too, I don't know. I mean, then you have the possibility of the Raging Cajun. You don't know.
There's a lot of talk, yeah.
They'll be like, I got you, Makai.
Yeah.
I got you. So you go back to left tackle, and Fant's gonna. I don't know what works with the trade with that. That's a good. I guess we're having good problems. That's a good problem in my eyes. But the way that I see it, if it was to be and Fant had to start, I'd have to say that Becton's going to be on the right and Fant's going to be on the left, just because Becton is that much more of a superior athlete than him. He can flip his brain. And he has that capabilities, and he's just probably piss him off even more. So it'd be good.
And I hear a lot of people, going back and forth with this take and talking about, Makai Becton possibly being moved to right tackle simply because, they want to see Fant continue to start and Makai will be dominant on either side. But here's the deal. Makai Becton, when he is our starting left tackle, he's an elite starting left tackle. So that's why I kind of look at it like, why move him? Yeah, why move him if he's elite on that side? Like we've seen, he was a top 5 left tackle. I'm not just saying that. Damian Woody said it. A bunch of other guys that are analysts and all that stuff said that stuff. And look, if you can't, like we say, competition in every position. If Fant is not competent or isn't as competent on the right side or isn't getting it together and not do what he needs to do in the scheme, then that opens up competition to take your position. Maybe we see a guy like Max Mitchell step up over there. There's other guys as well that we can end up adding to. So I just think that Mekhi coming in shape, that knee being 100%, according to Robert Sela, him being activated off that PUP is like, yeah, he's about to, put on a show, and he's going to make sure that people eat their words. He's fully healthy. He's going to go out there and put it together, man. Serious business. But even when we talk,
he's going to,
yeah, go
I
ahead,
feel you. He's going to IHOP it.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
I agree. He's going to IHOP it.
Pancakes all day.
But it's almost too just simply that Fant is terrible at right tackle. You know what I mean? Like, it really, I believe that he had, I think he was in there, and that's what the side that just got steamrolled actually to take out Mekhi. Mm-hmm. And it was McGovern who landed on.
It was
Mekhi?
It was Greg Van Roten. Greg Van Roten got thrown into the back of him.
Yeah, Van Roten. Yeah, damn Van Roten. But it was just like, I don't know, like I tried to put that in a part of my brain where it's like selective, I guess, and it was just a nightmare. So it was just all parties involved. You know, you gotta go.
Yeah. So when you look at,
that's how I see it, man. Unfortunately.
Yeah. I hear you, but when you look at our offense, man, and the situation that we're in right now, what rookie do you think will potentially have the biggest impact for our offense?
Again, no, I'd probably have to. If it might happen, the Raging Cajun.
Really? You think over Garrett Wilson, over Hall, that he might have the biggest impact?
Well, those are givens.
Okay, well,
those are givens. But if it comes to right tackle, you know what I mean. If it comes to right tackle, yeah, okay. An anchor at right tackle, and then Mekhi can go at left. I mean, you almost got me to curse right there, man. Yeah. So it's not like in a good one, but I would say so, because then that would free up even more of having the wide receiver. He'd be like a fart, an SBD, a silent but deadly, to where you're not calling him out, and that's a good thing, and then all of a sudden halfway through the year you're like, oh my God, what is this, and it's. That's what I think, or that's what I'm hopeful for, to where it just can, overflow into everybody else, from Zack to Hall to Wilson, the other Wilson. Thank God we have multiple names of people, because that's not confusing, but it's good.
No, listen, I hear you. Now we go to the defensive side of the football, man. When you look at this Jets linebacker position, what are your thoughts about that open spot? I believe it's that weak side linebacker. Who do you think takes that spot, man? Because there's going to be so many guys competing. Hamza Nezruddin, Jamin Sherwood. Who do you think ends up, beating people out to be that weak side linebacker for us, man?
I think it might be the Dean Amin.
Okay.
I think it might be him. With injury and everything, but I think it might be him, or possibilities out there. We might go for another linebacker. Joe might do something together. Who knows?
Yeah.
But Quinn right?
Yeah.
Jesus, now I'm like confusing the brothers together.
Quincy Williams. Quincy Williams. Yeah. Quincy Williams.
Yeah, guy. It's good. It's good. I just feel bad. Imagine how the other teams must feel. It's great, but I think he's going to be that thing that if he can just get the plays, into his head and just settle down and be controlled chaos, I think that's only going to see this more, because those screens, oh my God, Joe, those screens. Ooh. I got PTSD of those things too.
Man.
It's worse than the runs and stuff. That 3rd and 20s, I see it. It's like, oh no, how? But if he can control himself and he gets under that, I think he's going to take that down.
Oh, man.
He's just
Rusty.
He's a ball of energy, that dude.
Rusty, those screens, man. Oh, man.
Yeah.
They ate us up last year on screens, whether it be running backs, screens to running backs, screens to tight ends. Oh, my God. The tight end coverage was awful. Look, I'm so glad that we have moved forward. It was terrible, Rusty. But sticking with this defense, man, we talked about the linebacker position. Give me your thoughts about this cornerback position, because there's so many battles going on within it. Who do you have pegged right now as our number 1 and 2 corner going into camp?
If we're going draft pick wise, I'd probably say, Sauce at the 1. But it's just I don't know. I think because they're going to make him fight for it, I think it's going to be between Reed and Hall and Sauce. I think it's going to be like a good, I don't know, like a good do-si-do in a fashion. And the good thing is everybody wants to be that number 1.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean,
I'm telling you, it's going to be crazy. That cornerback position is full of sharks. I keep saying it, and I know.
And you have Eccles too.
Yeah, Eccles again. I brought that. I'm telling you, Michael Carter II. That dude was phenomenal as a slot corner. He was one of the best slot corners in the league. And he was
crazy.
young. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. It's so many guys. You got Eccles. You got, again, Bryce Hall. People think he's just going to give up that cornerback, that number 1 spot. I'm telling you, he's not. He's going to battle. He was one of the bright spots on our defense. Then you got Sauce. Then you got DJ Reed, a guy that can play slot and he can play, number 1 or 2 corner too. I'm telling you, it's going to be a lot of battles there,
and he can bang and he can pick it off too.
Absolutely. I'm telling you, Rusty, it's
crazy.
It's completely crazy. Listen, so before I let you go, Rusty, because we got to get back to these lines. It's been great speaking to you. Before I let you go, give me 2 players.
Same here.
Give me a player, right, that has the most to gain and the most to lose from their performance at training camp. Give me one on defense. Give me another one on offense.
Defense. Most to lose and most to gain. Mm-hmm. So what is that? One in the same, or do you want one of different ones on each?
Well, just give me one different ones on each. Who has the most to lose on offense and the most to gain on offense? Who has the most to lose on defense and the most to gain on defense?
All right, shoot. I'd probably say Ruckert on offense, Jeremy, just because of the jitters of being a savage himself and putting it on, letting that settle down and just letting him do what he did in Ohio State and then some. Because if he did anything like he did at Ohio State, good God, those are my Buckeyes, he's the reason I'm telling you why. He is the reason that Justin Fields got selected where he did.
Mm-hmm.
I'm upset about missing those rings, but anyway, he's a great outlet and then some, and he's got your weak side, your blind side, before you know it, he clears somebody out. So I would probably say him.
Okay. What about defense?
I would probably say Ruckert on offense.
What about defense?
Probably Ashton Davis. Get. It's that time. It really is. Yeah. And because absolutely. Did you see the crop of I thought some of the dudes were coming out this year that are staying in college. You have Jadaloon or whatever his name from Arkansas.
Yep.
You have the kid from A&M.
Yep.
And then you have the other kid who transferred to Notre Dame. Mm-hmm. They're better than him already. So it's put up or shut up, bud.
Yeah, there's a lot of people talking about that, and again with the improvement in our safety position, Whitehead coming in, who's phenomenal. This guy is really going to bring something to the New York Jets defense. And again, I know a lot of people talking about coverage and stuff like that, but I think the Whitehead will be very solid in coverage. He even talked about, hey, in Tampa they didn't really ask me to cover too much. I was just kind of doing my thing, bringing hits and stuff like that, but I can cover. And then again, we got LaMarcus Joyner coming back. Everybody's excited about him, but even Ashton Davis, he's going to be battling. Okay, there's guys back there that he's going to have to put up with. They're going to be fighting for their spot. Jason Pinnock, we talk about Riley, we talk about Will Parks, we talk about those guys, really pushing him. So like you said,
Pinnock too. Jesus, forgot about him.
If he does not get it together, we'll see. But Rusty, I got to get back to these lines, man. I want to thank you for calling in tonight. You have yourself a good one, my friend.
You too, Joe, and shout out fellow Savages. Connor Country Club Hughes is going to get it tonight at 10 o'clock somewhere. It's happening. It's going to be good. So I'm just doing that little thing out there. It's going to be good.
Salutes to you, Rusty. You have a good one, man. Listen, Rusty calling in, I don't have any issues with anybody. I love everybody, everybody that loves the Jets, everybody that reports on the Jets, I respect everybody. I know, some people have issues with some people. I have no issues with anyone. But, this team is looking good, man, and I'm fired up about them. So we're going to keep getting to these lines. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We're taking all callers. Salutes to all the Savages in the chat. We're going to keep things rolling. Also, please give the stream a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Greatly appreciated. And hit that notification bell so when I post content, y'all will be in the know. Next, we're going to my guy, Steve. Steve, salutes. I want to thank you for calling in. Listen, Steve, we're talking training camp. Mekhi Becton reported looking good. How are you feeling about that, Steve?
Hey, Joe. Well, first of all, thank you for having me again on your show tonight. I know it's been for a while. How have you been?
I've been great, man. It's always good to hear from you. How have you been?
Doing all right, man. I mean, I've been busy a lot lately. That's why I haven't been calling on to your show. Sorry I've been missing your show. But
that's all good, man. You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, thank you, man. Really appreciate it. So no, the thing was so today when I was at work, I made a post on Twitter. It's an exciting day. It's like Christmas Day all over again because the Jets are reporting it to training camp. And I got to tell you, when I saw the picture of Becton coming in, I was like, oh my God. I know he's big, but he looked like he was in the best shape that I've ever seen him. Because everybody was all saying, oh, he's over 400 pounds. He doesn't look like he's over 400 pounds. I mean, I'm not going to say what his weight is, but man, he just looks great, and he looks like he's ready to get back on the field. And what even makes it better is he passed his physical today, which is great news. So now that he passed his physical, he's able to go back out there. And not only did he pass, but so did Carl Lawson and C.J. Uzama.
Yeah.
Because there were rumors that they were going to both start the PUP list because, Uzama had the foot injury towards the end of the year that after when he was in the Super Bowl. And then obviously we know what happened with Lawson last year with the Achilles. So, it's exciting to see the team go back to training camp. And, Joe, I want to give you the heads up. I'll actually be at the open practice on Saturday, so I'll get to see the live.
That's wonderful. Salutes. I'm glad you're going to have that experience there. I know a lot of people are fired up and going, man, I wish I could go, but I got stuff I got to do. But,
I know you're out in Cali. Listen,
yeah, I wish I could go.
It's understandable.
Man. I wish I could go, but it is what it is. Listen, I hope you go and you have a great time. Now, you talked a little bit about Carl Lawson, man. What he's bringing. Again, he's off the PUP along with Mekhi Becton and, like you said, C.J. Uzama as well. What are your expectations of Carl Lawson going into this season, man? How fired up are you to see him finally back out there doing his thing on the field?
No, listen, I am excited to see him back out there. The main thing is, though, that I want this to happen is for Lawson is I want to make sure that he gets out of training camp very, very healthy this year. Not only just him, but the whole entire roster, because obviously we saw what happened with last year with injuries that happened. I mean, listen, Joe, there were already some things that are going on, unfortunately, around the NFL lately. What is it? Today we got a report today that Joe Burrow has to get something removed out of his body. I think it's his appendix he's got to get removed, and he's going to be missing some time. And listening to that kind of worries me. Kansas City recently just lost a receiver for the season. It's like one of their third or fourth string receivers that's done for the season. Like when I saw that, Joe, that's something that I just got really, really nervous about because, listen, I understand that the game of football today, injuries does happen, but when it comes to practicing and training camp, that's the biggest thing that I always worry about. Don't get me wrong. I'm excited when the team goes back to training camp this year, But the thing is, the biggest concern is making sure the team gets healthy.
Yeah, again, making sure that everybody stays healthy. I mean, I know you talked about around the league, but we saw that last season, right? How many guys did we have go down in the offseason that either missed time coming into the season or didn't, go into the season at all? Even during the season, early parts of the season, we had guys go down. We saw, again, we lost Carl Lawson in the offseason, Elijah Vera Tucker, Elijah Moore. They missed time in the offseason as well. Quinn Williams had an injury that meant he missed time. Gerard Davis, when he was here last year, missed time. So we went into the season, missing some guys and banged up. And then throughout the season as well, we got banged up too. So, yeah, looking around, seeing injuries in the offseason, definitely I can, absolutely see what you're talking about. We want to go into the season healthy this year.
Yeah,
so I'm sure this staff and everybody is going to be cautious, but guys got to go out there and play. And I'm just excited about some of the guys that we're bringing back.
Yeah, no, Joe, the other thing I just wanted to say really quickly, the other update that I also saw today too which was this. I mean, I know we're not Steeler fans, but today, Mika Fitzpatrick, their star safety today, when he was on a workout bike, he fell off of the workout bike and landed on his wrist.
Whew.
And luckily, according to the coach, that's a big fear that I have that could happen with one of our players.
Yeah.
That's a big fear that I have. Luckily, Mika Fitzpatrick is okay, but the good news is that he's going to be on the non-injury list for the first couple of practices.
Yeah.
It's just, Joe, that's always the biggest concern that I always have. Listen, go to practice, get what you need to get done, and then just get out.
Yeah.
Don't, like no injuries, nothing.
Yeah. Listen, I hear you. Now, before I let you go, Steve, give me a rookie on offense and give me a rookie on defense that you think would potentially have a big impact.
The rookie on offense, I think, is going to be Garrett Wilson. And the rookie on defense, I think, is going to be Jermaine Johnson.
Jermaine Johnson? Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
And then the other one that you were talking about, too, was about who I think is going to have, the biggest impact on the offensive defensive side. And I'm already going to give out the two players really quickly. It's Denzel Mims and Ashton Davis. And the reason why I'm saying both of them is because this is for both of these players, this is their last chance, I think, this year. It's either they could make this roster or they're going to get cut.
Wow. Okay. Listen, you're talking that talk, Steve. I'll give it to you. Good takes. Listen, I want to thank you for calling in, Steve. You have yourself a good night, all right, my friend?
Thank you, Joe. Have a good night. Go Jets.
All right. Listen, Steve calling in. He had some takes there. He said, listen, Denzel Mims and Ashton Davis, this might be the last time for them. Might be the last check for them. We'll see. Depending on how many wide receivers we keep. Again, with Rashad Davis on the roster, we also got Jeff Smith. He's on the roster too. He's going to be fighting. Denzel Mims is going to be fighting. And I know there's been a lot of talk about him in the offseason and that everybody's excited about him. The coach is calling him Mimsy and all that other stuff. But when it's time to go out there, he's going to have to perform. So there's been a lot of talk, man. I look at it and there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on with this football teams. Man, so many guys going to be fighting for positions, man. So many things going on. I'm excited about training camp, getting the wheels rolling and getting everything going. Can't wait for the practices and everything to happen. So now I'm going to go ahead and close out the show. Whew, this has been a fire show. A lot of callers, a lot of talk. Listen, I am the man of the people. I'm here for the people. Let me shamelessly promote my Facebook page. Everyone go on Facebook, search The Long Beach Joe Show. Like that page. My content's up there. Go ahead and give it a listen. Message me. I'll message you right back. I love going back and forth with folks about this football team. Also, leave me some feedback. I love hearing about what you folks think I do here on The Long Beach Joe Show. Your boy's also on Twitter, okay? Go on Twitter. Search YoungJ000. Again, YoungJ000. Follow me. I'll follow you right back. I love going back and forth with folks about this football team. Again, saying you want to troll me, no issues. I'm the troll that lives under the bridge, okay? And I will troll you right back with my Vera Tucker jersey on at all times. At all times, I'll have my Vera Tucker jersey on. Fight on. All I'm saying is that if you want a good offensive lineman, you might want to look at USC. That's all I'm saying. This guy's dominant. When from the left side, he's going to be playing on the right side. He's going to dominate people on the right side as well. I'm just saying that. So go ahead and follow me. I'll follow you right back. We can go back and forth. Show's page as well is at The Long Beach Joe. At The Long Beach Joe. Follow the show as well. Okay. I'm also on YouTube as well at Long Beach Joe Jets. Long Beach Joe Jets on YouTube. Okay. Come on over, subscribe, hit that notification bell. If you want to troll me, no issues. Okay. Go ahead and hit those comments and troll me, and I'll troll you right back, and we can go back and forth. And as always, people, when you see me in person, okay, it is arms out, chest open, free hugs for everyone. Free hugs for everyone. The hugs will always remain free. No matter what anyone says, they will always remain free. I want to thank everybody for listening. I want to thank everybody for calling in. Without you folks, I'm absolutely nothing. Thank you for taking the times out of your day to call in and listen to the show. And again, salutes to Willie for calling in from the 757 Virginia Jets fan club. Everybody that's in Virginia, get involved with them any way that you can, okay? You folks have a good one. Peace. 1 second, folks. Okay, we are back. Salutes. And I want to thank everybody for listening and calling into the show. It's phenomenal. Listen, anybody that is new, exclamation point links in the chat. That brings up my link tree. Okay, that has the links to all of my social media platforms, all of my content, everything. Okay, I have other YouTube channels I also do content on. That content is coming. I'm telling you. Don't trip. It is coming. Okay, my schedule's just been crazy, but I'm telling y'all, it's coming very soon. And I have even more stuff that we're going to be doing as well. We do shows year round. If you are new here, this number, all right, will not change unless I tell you that it's going to change. Okay. But for the foreseeable future, it is not going to change. Okay. So if you want to get on the show a bit earlier, right, than everybody else, then guess what? Call in about 5 to 10 minutes before the show starts. And if you wait on the line, all right, you'll hear me come on. I'll talk about what we're going to discuss, and then I'll bring you on. Now, keep in mind, I respect everyone's time. Okay. I'm going to say this. I had a discussion with people, a person. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're super known or nobody knows you. I don't care if you've been a Jet fan for 40 years or you've only been a Jet fan for 2 minutes. I respect everybody's time, okay? Which means that I will bring you on in the order that you call in, and that's the order I'm going to bring you on, okay? For those of you that don't know, I have a queue. I can see you, okay? So if you call in and hang up, call in and hang up, call in and hang up, I can't do nothing because you'll just keep falling to the bottom of the queue. So when you call in, I can see you, okay? I'll bring you on in a reasonable amount of time, and I'll give you more than enough time to state your point, right? And then let's go back and forth. The only thing I do not allow on this show for those of you that are new is cursing. Do not call into my show cursing. I'll get you out of here. You curse a bunch, I'll get you up out of here, okay? All right? I'll give people warnings. But I'm telling you, if it's bad, I'll get you out of here. I won't even warn you. I'll just get you up out of here, all right? Be respectful. This is a family show. Don't curse on my radio show. Don't do that, okay? I know sometimes this team can take you there, okay? We've been there, all right? But don't do that on this show, all right? Or I have to let you go. Now, also, when you call in, make sure your phone's good to go, okay? Don't have me on speakerphone or, you on your jackhammer at the job and you want to listen. I want to talk to you as well. But my audience and I need to be able to hear your points so that we can go back and forth or we can agree with you, right? So guess what? Get off the jackhammer, put it down, go down the street, and then give me a call so that I can hear you, okay? Don't call me from a Sesame Street phone either, okay? I need to be able to hear you. Make sure that you're good to go, all right? I need to be able to hear you. Crazy echoes or you on some, crazy, Oscar the Grouch headset. I don't know what's going on, but I need to be able to hear you, okay? So slow that down, get a good background with no loud noises and all kind of crazy stuff. I need to just be able to hear you and your points clearly, okay? So that we can go back and forth. And again, I give everybody time. Even though I may not agree with you, we can go back and forth and have a good time. But I need to be able to hear you, and please be patient because I'll get to everybody, okay? I also game from time to time too. So you may see me, you may see your boy come up and playing some Street Fighter, NBA 2K, Madden, something like that. So if you see that, hey, don't be surprised. Your boy does that from time to time. Again, once my schedule gets together, we'll, get that going. But, we do that too as well, and we have a lot of fun. Venom G's, salutes to Venom G's. Venom G says, don't call from the club. Yeah, don't, I understand everybody wants to have a good time, but, go outside real quick, get far away in the parking lot, give your boy a call, let me know, and then, get back to your partying. But don't call me, when you you got all this crazy stuff going, you in a wind tunnel, I can't hear you, So, yeah, so we have a lot of fun. Again, we do the show year round. I game on this channel too. We have a lot of fun doing that, and we just sit down, we chit chat about life and all that stuff. So you might see that again as well once my schedule kind of eases up a bit. We have a lot of fun doing that on this channel as well. And again, please hit that link tree for all my other content and stuff. Again, that's coming. It's just my schedule's crazy. So salutes to everybody that watch. Salutes to my guy Venom G's coming on by. It's always good to see you. Venom G says, great show, Joe. Salutes. Thank you so much, man. Salutes to Dave as well. Says, good night, Mr. Joe. Salutes to you. Good night as well, my friend. Budgeting D, salutes. Always good to see you in here. Always good to see Trevor. Trevor from Canada, salutes. F Monk, salutes to you as well. Just salutes to everybody that came on by. Jets Unleashed. Jeremy, salutes to you as well. Jets Chaos, good to see you in here. Jet King, always good to see you in here as well. BK Trainer, salutes to you, my friend. Good to see you in here too. Sean Gully, salutes to you as well. Monty, good to see you in here too, man. Just good to see everybody. Dark Soldier, Will, Aaron, good to see you in here too. Aaron says, how do you think the offense will attack, or how do you think the Jets want the Jets? Wait, he says, how do you think the offense will attack, or how do you want the Jets offense to attack the Ravens defense? I'm a Baltimore Ravens fan. We'll see, going forward. I think the New York Jets are definitely going to be running the football quite a bit this year, especially with the upgraded offensive line. I'd like to see us run the football heavy, really dominate the time of possession. Just in fact, to just, keep Lamar Jackson off the field, I think is going to be huge as well, because that guy just runs around. And not just that, but he's also a quarterback that can make plays in the pocket. A lot of people try to discount him and his throwing ability, but let me tell you something. He's one of the better quarterbacks, in the league, and he will dice you up and dissect you. So, I want to be able to run the football effectively against the Ravens, even though they're a really tough defense. And, just protect Zack and have him get the football out of his hands. And I think defensively for us is going to be big, is getting a pass rush on Lamar Jackson and making sure that gets rushed. But we don't want to lose our lanes against him. Don't let him, avoid somebody and then be able to take off for a 20, 30-yard gain. Definitely keep him contained, but definitely be able to get after him. But again, we'll see how our teams look as we continue going forward, because there can be injuries, all kinds of stuff that can happen. But the Ravens are a good football team, and I'm excited to be able to play them and get that test this year. So we'll see what's going on. But salutes to you, Aaron. Good to see you in here. Jets Mess, salutes to you. J. Cole says, Long Beach, if you could buy be a jersey of any player if you could buy any jersey of a player this year, who would you get? Zach Wilson. If anybody, it's probably gonna be Zach. But of course Elijah Vera Tucker is there. Garrett Wilson would be good. Who else would I buy? Carl Lawson. If you don't have a Carl Lawson jersey, you definitely need one. There's a couple guys, man, that I would definitely like Uber purchase if I could. Or if I want to just stack up on a bunch of jerseys, there's definitely a lot of guys that I would just snatch those jerseys up in a heartbeat. Sauce is a good one. Who else would be a good one? I would get a Bryce Hall jersey for real. If for real, I get a Bryce Hall jersey. Jermaine Johnson too. So yeah, there's a couple guys that I would definitely. But of course, definitely Zach Wilson would be at the top. But a Mekhi Becton jersey would be, you know what I'm saying? Especially when he, quiets everybody up. You throw on that 77 and kind of quiet people down. You know what I mean? So that would be good. Yeah, Elijah Moore jersey too would be fire. Corey Davis. There's so many guys, but if I just had to pick one, it would probably be. It's tough to pick one, but it would definitely be between Zach Wilson, Elijah Vera Tucker, and probably Mekhi Becton for sure. It would definitely be between them. So salutes to J. Cole as well. Good to see you in here. and everybody. And so good to see you in here as well. So salutes to everybody. I'll see you folks on the next show. Again, please follow me across my social media platforms so that you'll know when I'm going to do my next show. My schedule is crazy, so I got to get up out of here. It's completely nuts. Listen, everybody, please be safe, okay? Be safe out here. The world is crazy, all right? It is absolutely crazy. Be safe out here. Sit down with your friends and your family, all right? Eat some good food. Watch some TV. Let the people that you love know that you love them, okay? That's extremely important in today's times. It's always been important to me throughout my life. Excuse me. To let the people that I love know that I love them, okay? Sit down with your friends and family. Make those good moments, you know, have those good times with them, and just let them know that you love them, all right? So I'm going to get out of here. Again, please follow me across my social media. I'll let you folks know when I'm doing my next show. We're going to have a lot of fun. Again, please follow me across all of my YouTube pages. Content is coming. And we're going to have a blast, all right? We're really going to have a blast. I got a lot of stuff going on in brewing. Schedule is you know, is crazy, but we'll get through it, all right? So you folks have a good one. Enjoy yourselves. Be